So, on the topic of furries, I'm not personally a big fan of furries. Now, before the furries get mad, I feel like there's a good amount of people who draw what would be considered like animal characters that I don't have an issue with, but like actual furries, people committed to the furry lifestyle, people committed to the fursuits, people committed to the furry community. Every single furry that I've ever known has always had porn of their persona. Every single one. Every single one. Just that's just something to think about. People say it was like, well, we're attracted to the human bodies, right? If you're attracted to the human body, why does your furry porn have anatomically correct animal parts? Riddle me this. Now, I always like to meme on one of my favorite songs ever. No cock like horse cock. But I won't deny the fact that the song was written by a furry. And you know, this topic is a common joke made by furries. So, you know, something along the lines of that subject. Right? You know, they say it's not a fetish thing, but majority of the stuff is revolved around fetish. For furry conventions, lots of hotel parties. And the hotel parties always end up being more than just parties. But you asked for my opinion on furries. No, more like I forced my opinion of furries on you. I definitely will. I'd be lying if I said that I didn't like to draw like kind of some of that stuff when I was younger. The thing is, I was young. I was like, you know, like really young, like probably like 12 years old. I like to draw, right? And it's a community of artists. But it's a community of artists, and you know, I was drawn to it. And immediately, I was exposed to the kind of people in that community. You doodle Disney-styled animal people and stumbled on DeviantArt. Absolutely, that's exactly what happened. It was more like Disney-style. It's like my two main things was The Lion King and Warrior Cats. And I genuinely think there's no better, there's no other word I can explain it other than grooming. Like groomers. Furries are groomers. A lot of furries that I did know, there were people who were genuinely into children and genuinely into like animals, dogs. I keep seeing like documentaries, like, you know, like furry documentaries that get uploaded to YouTube and stuff that like try to like clear the name of furries. And it's just like, you know, I just want to clarify, because there's always going to be that one furry in my chat who's be like, I'm not like this. Okay, maybe you're not like this, but like, your community as a whole is fucking terrible because it doesn't hold any of these people accountable. And you can say that it does, but it really doesn't. Because for the most part, furries spend more time denying the fact that this stuff exists in their community than actually saying, yeah, it happens and we're doing something about it. Most often, when you watch something like a furry documentary or something that's in the news about furries, they have someone representing the furry community, and they're like, "Hey, furries are not sex-based. They don't like to fuck animals, and we're just a loving community." And then they show like a clip of them like going to like a charity and hugging children, right? But meanwhile, there's plenty of evidence that says otherwise. One evidence. There was literally a furry census, and one of the questions was like, you know, like, do you have attraction to animals? Do you consider yourself attracted to animals in some way? And they always say like there's like this 1% of furries. It's always the same argument. There's this 1% of people who are like this. But the furry census literally says otherwise. The furry census there says there's a lot more than 1% of you. On top of that, okay, the furry census, you know, it could not be particularly accurate. It could be, you know, it might just be like people who are like more diehard furries, you know, not everyone fills out the census, okay? We can put that away. There's this website. It's essentially furry DeviantArt. It's called Fur Affinity, okay? I'm very passionate about this issue, if you can't tell. If you go on to Furry Affinity, you log in, make sure you have your NSFW filter off. Go to most recent submissions. There's a page that just shows all the recent submissions of artwork. Each page will be filled to the brim with NSFW artwork. It's always NSFW artwork. And it's not just any NSFW artwork. It's usually like really fucking disgusting fetishes. Yes, I will kink shame you right now. I know there's people in my chat right now. Your brat fetish is fucking weird, okay? You're a fucking weirdo. I don't give a shit. You're a fucking weirdo. You're disgusting. You're like bottom of my shoe. People who like farts. That's what I'm talking about. People who like farts and shit. Or like morbidly obese or inflated artwork. You're disgusting. It's filled to the brim with that shit. Diapers, fucking literal children. Like I've seen babies, like human babies. And it's not like lolly artwork, right? It's not lolly artwork. It's like literal fucking babies. Like shitting their pants. It's disgusting. This is uncomfortable to think about. Your fetish is disgusting. I took that purity test thing or whatever that everyone's taking. And there's literally like a question. It's like something about like shaming people for their fetishes, or I think some people's fetishes are disgusting. And I'm like, yup, I'm shaming you. I feel no pity. Remember Kiro the wolf? Oh, good God. Oh my good God. If you don't know Kiro the wolf, not only was he a man who had relations with animals, he was part of a community called zoo sadism, which is so sad. It is so sad. Okay, think about these two words. Gazoo and sadism. I'm not gonna go too far into it, but you can put two and two together. It's having relations with animals, but like on a nastier, more mean, horrible scale. And it's disgusting, it's horrible, it's... You know, if you're gonna act like an animal, you deserve to be euthanized like an animal. But like I said, there's gonna be furries in my chat who are gonna be like, this is not all of us. And it's just like, yeah, well, of course, the fucking furry community is huge. I'm sure there's plenty of members who don't want to do things to animals, don't want to do things to children. My issue is that they would spend more time pretending it doesn't exist than saying it does.